Brands hatch in the first round of the 1988 Uniroyal Tyres Production Saloon Car Championship. Classes C and D line up with on pole position Andy Middlehurst. Alongside him Phil White, and on the outside of the front row John Morris. Second row we see Brian Cox, and alongside him Roger Jones. Inside of the third row it's got Graham Coombs with alongside him the first of the non-Volkswagen Golf GTIs, the Toyota Corolla Coupe of Mark St John Taylor. And on the outside of the third row we see Nick Bourne. Then back to Dave Oates, David Kay, Ziggy to his friends, and the first of the Peugeots driven by Len Orton Green. In car now with Graham Coombs, and they're off. Approaching Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. This is the view from outside. And we're back with Graham Coombs. Field bunching up there, brake lights go on, a bit of bumping and boring. John Morris gets very sideways. And there's Phil White making a rapid exit stage left. That's better than the red arrows. Andy Middlehurst in the lead as they approach Druids. Field streaming through, a bit of brake locking there. Andy Middlehurst leads as they approach Surtees. Our camera car with Graham Coombs aboard is in fourth position. There's John Bischoff bringing up the rear. As they come out of Clark Curve now and onto the front straight, it's Andy Middlehurst in the lead. He's followed by Nick Bourne and then Brian Cox in third place. There's the very distinctive black and yellow Strata of Wild Bill Stillwell. Incredibly, it's Volkswagen Golfs in the first 9 places. There's the first non-Golf, the Toyota Corolla of Terry Stone. Still Andy Middlehurst in the lead, Graham Coombs in fourth place. And there's Dave Oates being helped out of the race by an aggressive Roger Jones. Lots of weaving on the straight as the drivers look for the best line. A lot of track there, right out onto the old part of the circuit. That'll get him a naughty boy flag before too long. Here's Roger Jones coming through after his brush with Dave Oates. Field's starting to spread out a bit now. There's Mike Kidden in the Honda. Looks like he's on the steep part of the learning curve. Back in car now with Graham Coombs. And he's just lost a place there to Phil White. He's going well after that earlier incident. Hurst leads, followed by Nick Bourne and Brian Cox very close together. Phil White just in front of Graham Coombs. Those four very tightly bunched. There's John Morris looming in the background, trying to join into that bunch. They go up to Druids. Jockeying for position there. And John Morris has snuck up alongside Graham Coombs, turning in. Expect to see him go ahead here. And there he is. Now 5 cars very closely bunched. Graham unfortunately the tail of that bunch. But still in with a chance. Morris takes a look down the inside of Phil White there, but there's not enough room. John holds a tight line, Phil fights him off, or does he? John gets very good acceleration coming out of clearways, pulls alongside and ahead, and he takes Graham Coombs with him. Graham gains a place there at Phil White's expense. John Morris has made up a lot of ground after that earlier indiscretion. And there's Phil White coming through into the picture again. Bumps John Morris out of the way. Graham Coombs takes advantage, says thanks very much, and he takes the place. Mike Giddens still learning. He gets on his way again, completely undeterred by that brush with the undercoat. There's Phil White and John Morris still at it, hammer and tongs. And John Morris has just pushed Phil out of the way there. Allowed Graham to come alongside. And he hasn't quite got the acceleration. Andy Middlehurst well clear, but look how tightly those five are bunched behind him. There's nothing in it. Second place is still anybody's. These cars are standard production, remember. The front of the field dominated by Volkswagen Golfs, as most people expected. Very fast cars, 16 valves, 140 horsepower. Coombs looking for a way past John Morris there. But equally, John Morris is looking for a way past Brian Cox. He's looking for a way past Nick Bourne. Andy Middlehurst pulling away up ahead now and starting to get in amongst the back markers. Whoops, there's a bump as Graham comes in alongside John Morris. Gets the door shut in his face. They hold position. And Phil White's still there, right behind Graham. I wouldn't count him out yet. Up to lap a back marker now. Andy Middlehurst goes through. And there's a spot of bother, some tyre smoke. Brian Cox goes off. And Graham Coombs pulls alongside John Morris as a result of that incident. John just put out of his stride a little bit there. It's a good move from Graham. He's right on the tail of Nick Bourne now. And Nick's up in second place. Probably not much chance of catching Andy Middlehurst now. But Nick Bourne's definitely just ahead. Andy Middlehurst crosses the line. Nick Bourne second. Graham Coombs third. John Morris fourth. There's Phil White in fifth. And Brian Cox a disconsolate sixth. Unfortunately, Graham Coombs was adjudged to have jumped the start, and the statutory 10-second penalty dropped him to an eventual sixth place. Here's a jubilant Alistair Davidson crossing the line to win Class D. With Guy Povey second in Class D, both of these drivers in Suzuki Swift GTIs. The winners go off on their lap of honour. It's Andy Middlehurst in the cap and Alistair Davidson.